This was reported by, or it was posted by Tom Pix on the forum and was reported by Bitcoin.com and Tweaktown. Nvidia's financial reports seem to suggest that they sold a huge chunk of their Ampere GPUs to miners, possibly explaining part of the shortage. I don't think this accounts for the entire thing, but it is possibly part of the shortage.
It's about a 250,000 3080s, like 250,000-ish 3080s.
That's a lot of 3080s.
If that was all 3080s, to be clear. I don't think we know like exactly what it is, but if you break down the 175 million, that works. It's very likely a mix of 3080s and 3070s, so we don't necessarily know exactly
what that looks like. That makes it even more GPUs. Like. So like,
yeah, not better.
That's like, a lot of cards.
This is the most generous possible take, is that it's 250,000 3080s.
It's about $175 million worth of inventory here, and supposedly these new generation GPUs are helping out performance for Ethereum miners. According to a note from RBC Capital Markets analyst Mitch Steves, the analyst had guided sales to miners to come in at $150 million for the quarter. So they overshot their target. They overshot their target. I mean, to be clear, I don't think Nvidia or AMD, for that matter, ever stopped selling GPUs to miners. Just nobody cared for a long time because there was plenty enough for retail customers as well. The only info we have on the total supply of 30 series GPUs is from this quote from Nvidia. "We have great supply, just not for this level of demand. It is typical for initial demand to exceed supply for our new GPUs. Our global network of partners is ramping as hard as they can to get the new GPUs to the more than 100 million GeForce gamers around the world."
Nice little plug there.
Okay, yeah, so that's yeah, I know, right? By the way, did we mention we have 100 million customers? There's a note in here from Alex who says, "Dear Linus, any insight on if this is a consequential number of GPUs?" Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say this is a consequential number of GPUs. I mean, if let's say I live in an America-centric world where I pretend the rest of the globe doesn't exist at all because America.
Sure, that happens a lot.
Okay, so let's say I live there. That is like 0.1% of Americans, literally. The entire 0.1% could have run out and bought one of these GPUs. Okay, so let's expand that a little bit, right? Okay, so let's include Australia, the UK, and Canada, right? Whatever, that was terrible Canadian accent.
That was terrible. Yeah, I wonder how many cards were seeded to like Australia at all.
So by then we've got what? I think the UK is like 50, 60 million, 60, 70, something like that. But whatever, between those three countries, we've got about another 100, 150 million people. So that's still like, 0.7% of people in these, and this is just these GPUs, never mind the ones they actually did ship to gamers. And so, let's expand it again.
Well, not necessarily, because this was sold directly to crypto miners, and what that would mean, probably, I'm assuming, is like pallets of graphics cards to one purchaser. That doesn't mean that 0 people intending to use them for mining bought them from stores as well. So a lot of smaller operation individuals or small groups of people that don't have the buying power to buy like a pallet of graphics cards would have been buying them from stores. There's also scalpers. We saw a lot of that. Like this strongly decreases the chance of gamers getting it because it's not only gamers that are buying from stores.
But I'm talking just about what Nvidia is selling directly here. I'm saying if Nvidia sold these directly, 0.7 of the entire population, 0.7% of the entire population of like Australia, UK, Canada, and the United States, which if I'm to go based on our YouTube viewership numbers is like 70% of the English-speaking enthusiasts, something along those lines, would have been able to buy an RTX 3080. Now, when you consider that even among computer enthusiasts, an RTX 3080 is like that's a 1% product, right? I think it's pretty fair to say that if Nvidia had shipped these to gamers instead of directly to crypto miners, pretty much anyone in those territories who wanted one could have had one by now. I could be wrong. I could have the numbers a little off. Maybe Nvidia shipped, I don't know, 10 times this much to the actual computer channel, like the resale channel. But I doubt it because it's not in these notes here, but it was in TechLinked. I think this works out to something like 6% of their GeForce revenue for the quarter. And when you consider that they're still shipping a lot of Turing, and it's not too, okay, don't quote me on this. I could be wrong on this. I don't think it's 6% of Ampere. I think it's 6% of the GPUs they've shipped, like the total revenue. So given they're still shipping a ton of Turing, I would think this is a lot of what Nvidia actually shipped for Ampere in that quarter. The weird thing about this to me is why? Like, why? Luke, why would they do this?
Yeah, I don't know. Especially because they're going to immediately, like you've talked about this on Wen Show before, making one of these GPUs is basically like printing money. Like there's no question about whether or not it's going to sell.
Yeah.
If there was a question about whether or not it was going to sell and you could sell a pallet for sure, I could kind of understand that.
Yes.
When you know it's going to fly off shelves, I don't know. Maybe you're trying to own the mind share of miners. So when you release a new card, they're more on your side, but I don't think that's really going to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't think that matters because I don't think miners make decisions based on that. I'm pretty sure it comes down to power consumption, hash rate. Like it's very transactional. These are very commodity products for the mining community. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. And they would have had to know that there was going to be backlash from the gaming community who they rely on for, I don't know, let's say the other 94% of their GeForce revenue. So I guess this is just Nvidia being Nvidia and kind of going, okay, well, yeah, it's arrogant behavior, but what the f are you going to do about it, right? We're Nvidia. What are you going to do? Take your business elsewhere? Like get bent, pretty much.
I mean, people would probably like to, but they can't because there's no cards on the other side either. I wonder if partially for the same reason.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
That happened last time, didn't it? Am I totally wrong here?
Yeah,
I could be.
Yeah, no. RX 570 was like the big cheese, and AMD sold tons of GPUs directly to crypto miners at the height of the mining craze. And what was it? 2018, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's.
Yep. Jonathan.
XFX China allegedly sells almost all available Radeon RX stock to mining farms.
I mean,
just random article I brought up.
If you were XFX, how else would you have survived for the last 10 years? Like, honestly, when they went AMD
Pretty
only, amazing. I was like, wow, could you guys have picked any worse timing for this?
That's a ballsy move.
Like they went right into a decade of AMD getting absolutely stomped by Nvidia and it being pretty much impossible for them to sell cards to actual gamers.
Pretty sweet payday once mining came around though, I guess. Jonathan
Paz says, could they have sold them for a premium knowing what the usage was going to be? I mean, yeah, I guess that's possible. Yeah, you know what? I guess that is possible because if I'm a mining outfit and I need supply of GPUs right now so that I can mine Ethereum 2 or whatever, then yeah, I guess I'd pay premium.
Deal. This is a contract side deal, so they don't have to sell at their rate that they sell to whoever.
Yeah, that's fair, and they also don't have to cut anyone else in on the margin. So no board partner margin. They're basically just using one of their board partners probably because who else is going to be able to make a graphics card? So they'll use one of their board partners probably as just a contract manufacturer. So that would be at a lower rate. And then they don't have to, have any margin built in for a retailer or whatever else. So yeah, you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just making another buck because they know that you have absolutely no other choice whatsoever if you want to buy the fastest gaming graphics card.
Yeah.
Oh well. AMD, what do you guys talking about? Mark Gallant says BS 2010, 2011, 2012 AMD dominated. Typical shill Linus. Tell you what, why don't you go back and look at what the market share numbers were like? Cool.